Hello, this is my Deadlock guide on Ascent. Deadlock's only been out for a week, so my playbook isn't like fully polished yet. So just expect like things to get a bit more polished as time goes on. Maybe some of my lineups in this video are a bit obsolete because better lineups are being found, etc. But I'm going to talk about the sonic sensors first. We're going to go in defense as well. Defense first on B with the sonic sensors. So the general logic of sonic sensors is that you want them to detect sound, so you want to put them in places where they can do that. So here's like the most obvious, right? You want to be using sonic sensors to sort of disrupt their execute, because on the execute they're going to make sound. So you can do things like this one, and this one will also catch like jets dashing out, and you can put any pretty much on lane. There's also a bug where you can spray through this, despite this wall not being penetrable. You can actually spray through the wall with a sonic sensor. I wouldn't do that in ranked, especially as it might be like a bannable offense, so be careful if you want to try and use that bug. I personally wouldn't. We also, on Ascent, we also have the luxury of having these drop downs. I mean, like a drop down like this. There's also some in mid. There's one in mid as well. And we can use them to our advantage with sonic sensors, as this thing will trigger if someone drops onto the mud. We can take a fight on them from like boathouse. Bear in mind, you are going to be exposed from lane, so you do want to be careful that you aren't fighting two people at once, one stunned, one not, or whatever. You can also do, there's also one here as well, so you can maybe combine the two, but most likely they'll trigger this one, then drop down, trigger this one, so it really won't work out the way you want it to, because the first person in probably is going to make all the sound. You can do some sonic sensors in mid as well if you want to, like a sonic sensor in mid and one in B if you want as well. That's also possible. And you can maybe even save one for fighting in post plant. I haven't really done that yet, or at least I haven't done it on purpose yet, so I'm trying to figure out when I want to do that. But you can do one like this in mid as well to trigger off an alarm bot. But we'll come back to that probably later. Then we talk about the barrier mesh. So I have one lineup for the barrier mesh. It's not particularly great, I never really use it, but I do have it. You just want to go into this corner and do a running throw. You don't even have to get your full momentum, and you'll get that. It's not the greatest of lineups. Usually what I do when I want to play off my gravnet on the fly, what I'll do is I'll do a jump spot here, and I'll ask a Raze or ask a Sova to help me here. And what I'll do is I'll say, Raze, can you nade here off my net? And with the Sova, I can either do, can you shock, can you reveal, or can you, like if it's later on in the round, later on in the half, I'll ask him to buy an Odin if he hasn't already, to spam off the gravnet. Bear in mind, you can also do that solo if you want to. I think it's just a bit weaker if you're the one making the solo play. Because bear in mind, the server can also combine it with his util, so he can reveal at the same time as them being force crouched. So then there's like sitting ducks basically revealed and force crouched. They're probably dead. So I'll usually do like a jump peek, and when I see them, throw it. And then reveal should come in. He'll probably be sitting it. The server will probably be here with it fully charged already, and then he'll just like shoot it as soon as he gets contact, because that's the fastest way to do it. Then he's got time to pull out the Odin and start firing. Otherwise, like it's gonna be too slow if he's just got the Odin out, you know, to reveal. It might even be too slow to reveal anyway, but I don't know, 100%. Without playing the server side of that as well. There's going to talk about barrier meshes. I'm going to talk about a barrier mesh that you can play with your teammates with. I've just been talking about the net, which also plays with your teammates. So what I'm doing is I'm against this wall, and I've lined up against the corner of this wall, like with the lip of this like little like paved bit of lane on the right edge. And I'm going to look at this corner here directly, and then just throw. And what it does is it traps people in main. So if you've got like a Brim ult, or maybe even a Sova ult, or a Raze ult or something, you can trap people in B main, and then like cook them with a Brim ult or something, or like Raze can ult them. Pretty strong. When it comes to actual barriers, I've got one here, but I don't particularly like the barriers I've got so far. I think there are definitely better ones available. I just need to find them. So this one is only one orb to break to go out. However, it does mean that they can't wide peek because this barrier blocks them, so they're most likely going to shoot this one too. Or they might shoot this one too. I don't say most likely, but they might shoot that one too. And obviously they're probably not going to touch this side because they would have to break this orb and this orb. So if they decide to break this first, they might decide to break that next. But it's kind of weird ordering for them to do that with. So what I was doing was I was just throwing it at this corner here to get that. And that's it really. So for the barrier mesh for like, I have one for Killjoy ult as well. So what I'll do is there's like an M here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to aim at this part of the M. And then I'm going to aim. And then we're going to like be equal to this. And we like this. How to explain that? And the jump throw is pretty precise, but you get this. So they can't get out. Either way. It's only one thing. This is also safe for them to break, so it's not the greatest once again. And they can get out. So it's not the best, but bear in mind that this is for Killjoy ult, so the enemy Killjoy ult, I mean. So we will have probably multiple players in CT being able to spray them. So it is still like decent amount of pressure. I do have one as well. I think it's this. No, it's further on. I think it's like this. Okay, that actually isn't it, but it's pretty decent, right? Because they can still shoot this in kind of relative safety, and then they have to shoot this as well, which they can also shoot in safety. So you know, it's not the greatest. It doesn't really do much. I did have one that was closer, but I can't remember it. I'll have to think about it again. I want to say it's against this. Oh my god, sorry. I want to say it's this, but I don't think it is because I'm pretty sure it doesn't reach. I know it does reach. Okay, but it's not as good anyway. It's still exactly the same as the other one. So you know, it is what it is. You can do ones like that block lane anyway. I'm pretty sure there is a stronger one, and I'll go over the logic of that. In it. So with your ult, I'm gonna go with the ult now. Look about the ult. So when it comes to the ult, you don't really want to be using it through window. The reason why is because this bungee doesn't actually kill them. They don't take any full damage from this, and the cocoon doesn't. Like the cocoon still makes them invincible, while they're dropping. So you don't actually get a shot at them either. At least in my experience, maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure you don't get a chance to shoot them through the window either from this side. So moving on, I don't really have any ults like lineups for this. Most of the time, it's just if you want to ult, you probably ult like this. If you want to ult main, if you want to ult sight when they come out and execute, you're probably going to ult like this. And that's basically it, really. Maybe from CT, you'll do an ult pretty similar to like this. Like you bounce it off the floor, so then it goes and then it like stops bouncing on this main wall. And that's probably what it will look like. Next, we'll go over to mid. So I've already placed a sonic sensor. You would usually do this. If you have like an alarm bot here, but you don't have to do it like that. You can have one like this too, and just watch it very passively in CT. And then as soon as you get contact here, then you know they can't really push you because if they try to push, they'll get stunned. So it kind of like zones them that way. With the barrier mesh, you want to put it kind of centrally in this sort of area. So then it actually takes 2 orbs to get through. As you can see, it takes 2 orbs for them to get through into mid. Or they have to shoot the big one in the middle. So it's pretty strong. I really like this orb to like control the mid space. But yeah, I don't really do it a huge amount of time because not many players will try and take that space. And in my experience, I play against a lot of Jet, and Jet likes to could try and control the area, be on top of the wall when I do that wall. So. I don't really do it as much, but it is a good wall if you like, you know, in certain circumstances where they can't like get through it very easily with like a raise or like a jet. When it comes to the nades, I do have one that's basically literally this is a KO flash lineup, but it works for the net, which is quite funny. So you just do walk, you run until you get full momentum, and then left click, and it gets them off basically off the barrier. It's not the best of lineups because it misses all these corners, right? So once again, have to make sure I get a better one than this, but right now it's working, so that's all that matters right now, and we'll obviously get a better one as time goes on. Next, I'm going to go over to we'll go over to short first. So on short, I barely ever play A in short, but you know barriers work pretty well here. You want it to be a bit further than this. Actually, no, you don't. It's pretty fine, I think. Oh no, it's not. Okay, yeah, you do want it to be a bit further than this. So you want it to be like here. Because it blocks this, so they have to shoot two orbs to get through, or they have to shoot the big one. That's like a very big thing, right? Because you want them to either shoot 2 orbs or the big one because it's the most ammo, and it's the most time being spent shooting the wall. It also means that there isn't, as far as I know, or as far as I've found, there isn't on the maps I've played, Deadlock, there hasn't been a scenario where the enemy team has to shoot 3 of the small orbs to get through anywhere. At least in my experience, but that could be wrong. There could be some certain lineups that require that. You can also do one like this, which is just a 1 orb. Isn't great. Just a 1 orb break, which isn't great. But once again, it just cut off like this massive corner, so they have to be in a very specific line to deal with you. You can try and do one like this as well, which is pretty strong because they kind of basically have to shoot the big one, or they have to shoot 2 because. Actually, I think they have to shoot 2. Yeah, they do. They have to shoot 2 with this one too. So you want to place it just in front. If you want to get like a really good one on short, you just place it here. And I can probably get a lineup for that, honestly. Okay, actually, maybe not quite. Oh no, that works. That's like deceptively. That's quite deceptive. It looks like I can get through, but I actually can't. Pretty deceptive. You can probably get a lineup for that pretty easily from around here, through the trees, or maybe even on top of this or something. You can probably get a lineup that lands there. Obviously, I mean, that's not gonna work, but like, it's very possible to get one. I'll have to figure out how to get one. I don't really play short on A, to be honest, so I haven't really looked into any of that stuff. So I'll have to look into it now, since I've kind of made myself aware of it. Let's go over to A and the sonic sensors. So we can place one here, which is pretty strong, as it like gets them when they jump up, or when they're getting close to the jump up, which means that it can delay them in this sort of area because they can't jump while stunned, or at least they can't jump very much while stunned. We got this one for switch. There's one for this side of the site, especially if like jets like dash out there and things. There is a couple for like obviously like planting the bomb. You've got like a lineup for the bomb. So if you place a sonic sensor here, we can play off that sonic sensor with a couple of different lineups. So I'm going to show off this lineup now. So you go up to this black line, and essentially what you want to do is you want to look at this cloud, these 2 clouds, or this big cloud. There's like okay, let me get like a Marshall. There's like, for me, there's like, this is like a mouth, then there's like a nose, and there's like an eye. So I want to use the mouth or the chin, and also this part of the cloud is like a point. There's like a point here for me. Like this little point here. So I go to the point of this and up to the chin, or you can go from the chin until you're like level with the point, and then throw the cage, and you don't have to jump. It's just a normal throw. And what this does is it actually locks someone into the where they're planting here, to planting gen, and it also locks them gen as well, so they can't go this way. They have to go this way to get out of gen. And we can follow this up with an ult. So with the ult that I'm going to do is you go up to the second bar. So this is the first bar, and this is the second bar. So you want to go up to the second bar. And it doesn't really have to be that precise. And there's like a little like edge here that's like curved. So you want to ult off that edge. And as you see, it hits all of gen. So this wall will block them in. You'll get the info off the sonic sensor. The wall will block them in, and then you can ult. So it's really, really strong if you've got your ult to play A. Because you can basically get like a free bungee. Because that what this does. Thing is though, is that you kind of want to wait as well a tiny bit, until like you go out, because the problem is that the cocoon can be broken by the teammates fairly free. Because you can't really retaliate sometimes. Like around this wall, like you have to expose yourself to a lot of angles to like retaliate to the person breaking the cocoon probably. And the person breaking the cocoon could be here. It's kind of like a difficult angle to like retaliate against. You need to have a wallbang. So it's probably not the strongest unless you're going out, or unless you're in like a particular situation, like a 2v2 or 1v1, 1v2, 2v1, some low number situations. But the important part about it is that it's a bungee, and it bungees them here. They actually take a significant amount of fall damage when they land. I'm not exactly sure if it's enough to kill them outright. For 150. Wait, it's only 100 anyway. They only have to take 100 damage from the fall, don't they? I'm not sure if it's enough to kill them outright. Because I'm pretty sure, like most times I've seen it, the enemy's been injured. But I haven't really tested if they can die on full health. I'm pretty sure that's only like a Google search away, to be honest. But yeah, the bungee's pretty strong. You can use it to push out and get a 1v1 while this person's in the cocoon. Stuff like that. It's pretty strong. So yeah, that's basically it for defense, I think. So I'll go to attack. Okay, so on attack. Oh my god. I'm gonna foul this jump. No, we're gonna line up in this corner. And we're gonna look at the white part of the explosion, like the white tip here of the explosion. And then just throw. And it will trap people in short. Either in this triangle here or this triangle here. It will also stop anyone from outside from contesting you from going out. I mean, this side is like pretty fine. Like they don't really care about this wall that much until they have to retake. And same here. That's the wall gets the door gets shut. I mean, none of them really care too much outside of that. But it's a really good way to trap someone in and punish them potentially. And then I think Average Jonas was throwing this one, or this. I can't remember exactly. 100% because I found like a one that I prefer. So I prefer one like this, so it's off this part of the explosion, this thin tip. What it does is it comes out a bit wider than what I've seen, and this will allow you to punish anyone that's taking this angle because they'll be force crouched, and anyone like in a bit of a wider angle also will get force crouched. It just means that you can punish people a bit more off the net. There's also some net lineups here as well. So these are like KO lineups. I'm pretty sure that the actual KO lineup is like this, right? But on the actual explosions, so you want to do it on the white tips of the explosions for the net. And it will get Dice and Jen. So I'll just quickly show. This is Jen and this is Dice. But there's also one more you can do. So there's like a little smudge of a cloud here. And there's like a bright spot here. So I want to just aim at that bright spot, bro. And that lands under hell. Or under heaven or hell or whatever people call it. And the main reason for this one is that it stops this jump spot from happening. And that can like panic the player, right? If they're the Omen, for instance, that jump spotting this, then that might insta smoke because they're force crouched. They're probably panicking like someone's coming out now. I need to they'll either try and remove this net, then insta smoke, or they'll smoke instantly, then take off the net. And it will like neuter their information, and it may even like force them to like rotate because this guy is saying that I've been netted, I can't see anything, I don't have information on A and stuff like that, right? It's really helpful if you're trying to fake or if you're trying to like contact up and all of a sudden this hits him out of nowhere. It's pretty strong. I say out of nowhere, but he can hear it in the air, to be fair. But yeah, it can be pretty strong at like selling fakes or just getting rid of their information on A for a tiny bit of time. Next, we're going to go over some sonic sensors when you get to post plant. So you can do them for the bomb. That's pretty easy. Or for like if you plant Gen, then you can plant one there, plant Dice, plant one here, whatever. That's pretty easy. But there are some ones you can do like this, for instance, that a lot of people will drop. Sorry, a lot of people will drop off here like this, and they'll get stunned. And then you can actually have someone, or you can be tucked here, and waiting for that to happen, right? You can also do one like here as well, which would also do the same thing. Same here with this one. They always do, these all do the same thing. You probably actually want to put them on this wall because they're probably a bit harder to shoot. But this obviously is maybe a bit hard here. Maybe you have to do it here like this and then here like this. They're a bit hard to shoot on this wall, but you can do them on these as well. So yeah, it's pretty good. I really like the fact that you can do that. If you're against an Omen, you can also do like, a lot of people will do like a TP into this smoke, but I don't think the TP, the destination of the TP triggers a sonic sensor. You can maybe try and do one like that. It's also pretty good if you're like if you're playing Gen, or if you think the last person alive will play Gen. A lot of people will fight Gen like this. I know I do as well, so having a sonic sensor there might be good. When it comes to ults, actually sorry, I'll talk about barrier mesh real quick as well. You can do barrier mesh up here as well. Generally I won't do it though because I would have already done mine short. I usually just free throw this one. But there are times where I go through short, and I'll show you a barrier mesh I do on short, which I actually have since decided not to do anymore. But we'll talk about the ult on A, on post plant. So you can do them off this box to go heaven, or you can do it off this wall to go Gen. That's basically it really. You can also do it really far like this as well, which will also go heaven, but it's obviously a lot less safe to expose yourself. This way you don't expose yourself. And then we'll talk about short. So on short, I won't talk about mid. I have a line up for mid, but on short, what will usually happen is I usually used to wall like this, but since then I've decided, okay, maybe not quite like this. This is a horrendous one. This is more horrendous than I usually do. Usually it's not that deep, so usually it's like this. And what it does, obviously, it still is a wall that works, right? It's not jumpable on this side, but it is jumpable on this side. And the thing is, it kind of defeats the purpose of having the wall there if someone can jump it, right? So I've decided not to throw this one anymore. If I do throw it, if I have to throw it, then I want to do it more out. But the problem is with that as well, like if I do it more out, I'm blocking myself. So it's like kind of weird where, you know, they can't jump it, but now we have to delete parts of our own wall to get through. Like maybe from the last one on short, this is fine, right? Because I'm only blocking myself. I'm not blocking anyone else. But even then, blocking yourself isn't particularly great either. Like, why would you want to do that? Especially because there'll also be audio. If you want to block, if you want to like break these things, there's audio to advertise the enemy team that you're breaking your own wall. So you know, it's kind of weird. So I don't really wall short anymore. I usually just throw a grav net and a sonic sensor. If I really want to control that area. Usually it is just committing the grav net though, with the smoke here most likely. And then I usually have my grav net to my barrier mesh for heaven at that point. That's how I've decided that I'm gonna do it now. As I think, as I said, as I've demonstrated or shown, that I think the barrier mesh is a bit weaker on short there. You can also technically do it like this as well. Once you get through short, you can do it like this too if you want to. That's also completely fine if you assume that they're going to retake through short and you don't want short control. However, I mean, we probably do want to keep short control. Actually, what you could do, I just realized, what you could do is you could actually still play from here, right? You just throw it like this, and then you can control, if they're trying to ever break it, right? You have a kill setup, right? Where they're trying to break it and you can kill them from behind. They might be a bit more aware of that happening at higher elo. I feel like they might actually be aware of it in my elo as well, but we'll see when I actually try that. Sorry, I was just kind of testing things. Just kind of testing things, not actually showing what I'm doing on the guide. So that's kind of it for attacking A and attacking A short. But if you go over to mid, there is one lineup I have here for mid to block off mid. So I line up with this triangle, like the right angle of this triangle, and it's kind of like the second pattern from the wall, or the first pattern up mid or down mid from the stairs. And then I'm going to aim at this support of this roof, and then throw. Actually, wait, I've done it wrong. Sorry, it's a jump through. Oh, I thought I killed it. I'm pretty sure it's a jump through. Sorry. I think it's a jump throw. I think I've got the wrong support as well. You aim at this one, and you jump throw. Barrier deployed. Yes, we did it right. Third time's the charm. Okay. So basically what the important part of this is that they have to break two. They have to break two to get through one of the sides, or they have to break the middle. That's the main part of this one, right? Is that they have to either wait a lot of time and ammo to get through it, or they just don't get through it and they just go through CT, or they have to go through B to flank you from A, or I guess if you go B, they have to flank you through A, which means that you can throw this. But I like as well, if you go B, if you go in B, I like to do this. So you throw this, and then you can sonic sensor this, either on this wall here or this wall here. This one is definitely stronger than this one because it's less shootable. But essentially what happens is there are going to be some rotators that go through short, right? And they're going to drop down here. And when they drop down, this sensor will go off, and like notify you that they drop down from short. That won't always be the case. There are some more careful players that will like walk down here and things and won't trigger this. So, you know, it's like a bit of a 50-50, but a lot of the lazy players, or like the players that feel like they really need to be fast rotating over there, they'll get triggered by this. They'll trigger the alarm bot, that's what I mean, or the alarm. And that's basically it for mid, really. I don't really have too much for mid. Obviously, I've been like doing some free throws for mid as well. Actually, I do have some stuff for mid still. I don't know why I said that was over. When am I like actually pushing up into B? I have a lineup for this as well. So we get the barrier, and what we want to do is we want to line up with let me get Marshall again. Sorry, I keep pressing M instead of B. I don't know how I manage that. So at the end of this explosion on the white tip, there's also this here, I'm pretty sure. Wait, I need to ping. Put it right. It might be wrong. Well, we'll see. On the white tip here, you want to go over until it reaches this here. So if I go over this, that looks wrong to me, but we'll have to see. No, it's right. Okay, that's good. So what it does is it blocks off. Okay, it's not right. Okay, it's not right. It was the other one. It was the other one. Getting all of them wrong. What am I doing? There you go.
Barrier deployed.
That's wrong. That's very wrong. Wait, that's really wrong. I must have just done it wrong. I think it's just to the right of this actually. So you go. So if you want to do this lineup, you go left until you kind of reach this, but just to the left of it, just to the right of it, really. And jump through. And what this does is it blocks off this with 2 orbs, right? Even if they get into here, they can't go this way. Obviously, they can't go this way, and then this also gets blocked. So they are fully blocked by 2 orbs on each side. And they have the middle orb to break, or the 2 orbs to break. So it's pretty strong. I like that one. It's just a bit of an annoying one to line up. So once again, like as time goes on, I'll get better at throwing these, and I'll get better ones that maybe make these more harder ones to line up obsolete. Speaking of harder ones to line up, B as well is going to be horrendous. There's sorry, if you're going to B from market, you can do grab net over this wall if you actually throw it like a human. No, I don't. You do grab nets over the wall. You do ults into CT. You probably want to bounce off the floor here actually. Probably a bit better. Maybe into the corner, but you don't want to be exposed. Something like that probably works better. You can sonic sensor CT as well. Anywhere you want to, just within a smoke or something. You can also barrier mesh it as well. So that's pretty good. And then we're on to B from market. I don't really have too much from market, to be honest. I barely ever do that push. So from B main, there is a KO molly lineup that I know that I've like changed a tiny bit for this. You just want to go in the corner and look at this like little spec, and you just go until you run. You just run until you're at full velocity. Land CT. There is now, and then there's sorry, not now. There is what are the lineups that I know. So I go against this corner, and it will like put me around the corner if I just hold down D. And what will happen is eventually I'll go around the corner and I'll reach this part here. I'll reach this crack here. Approach, please, yeah. So I'll reach this crack here. Actually, sorry, I didn't look straight down. Sorry, that was stupid of me. There we go. I was just realizing it looked straight down. There we go. Look straight down, and you'll actually hit this crack here. And then you want to look at this dot here. And then you want to run and jump. So once again, it's going to be one of the ones that I'm probably have to find an alternative for. But it definitely works. It's just very precise. You need to get it exactly through the window. Through the window. There we go. Full. It's because I wasn't waiting until I got full momentum is the problem. And I'm pretty sure, like, most of the time, I do not... I usually get it so they can't get through this area. But if it doesn't happen that way, they can't get through here instead. But obviously this is a bit worse. So it is also a bit not inaccurate, a bit unreliable. So I don't do it all the time, but I do it sometimes when I want to like control market. And I think right now it's working a bit more because people are a bit not used to Deadlock. So people assume that the wall blocks them more than it actually does. So that's the reason why I think that one works a bit more than it is right now. Sorry, than it would later on in the game as people learn more. Next one I'm going to show is this one. This one is a bit weird and sort of kind of like such a random position, but I'll show it. Dude, I can't line up. What am I doing? There you go. Line up exactly with the corner. It is easier than I've just shown, to be honest. I don't know why it took me so long. And then we've got like this cloud, right, that comes down a bit, ends about here. And then we've got this bar here. And what I do is I go a bit in the middle of like that line from where the cloud, so this part here, from here to here, about the middle of that. And then I go down to this line. And then I jump through. And what it does is it does a 2-orb block onto stairs where they have to shoot the big orb or 2 orbs. Sometimes if they crouch into this like this, they'll break it. But I've only done that twice in testing, and this is like the 10th time or maybe more that I've tested this. So sometimes they can crouch into it and break it, but I don't think people are going to do this like in game. And also it's not consistent either, so sometimes they might not, they can't consistently break it with crouching is what I mean. And also at that point, I might as well just shoot it, to be honest, because it will break. And if it does break, you know that someone's there. So yeah, I actually really like this one. It's really good with Killjoy ult, because it forces them into this corner, the safe corner, or even if like your Killjoy doesn't do that safe corner, then they're just forced into the ult unless they break. So it's pretty strong. It's a bit of a weird lineup because you're not really aiming at anything. I just kind of did this one, like, it was such a random way to discover this one, to be honest, but I think it's a really effective one. It just takes some learning to get like the right position. So you might have to do a couple runs on custom game. Then we actually go into B. Once again, you can do a free throw, and you can do a free throw for this one too. I don't actually have a lineup for main because it's very hard to get one from not main. I haven't got a lineup for CT because it's really hard to get a lineup from main. Then when it comes to sonic sensors, you can put one like this as well on attack, because lots of people are gonna like run through this area, and when it triggers, you can use it to like maybe get a Sova dart off on like this sign or over here. And it can like force, like they can be stunned and revealed at the same time, stuff like that. She has really, really good synergy with Sova in that way. That people will be stunned and detected, and then they'll get revealed while stunned. You can also do ones like on lane and on the stairs, because lots of people are going to make sound on lane when they start shooting backside or shooting towards and fighting backside. And same with stairs, right? You can do it deeper as well if you want to, because a lot of people do start fighting over here. So any sensors across this wall, maybe one here as well, is also fine. Just like pick whichever one you think is going to be more effective. And once again, same one as a defense. You can do one for the drop down. This one's probably more effective on attack post plan than it is on defense. That a lot of people, a lot of the time, you're going to be backside on the post plant anyway. You can also do ones that are like super close, like this and like this. And so this same sensor will also act like this one, but what it will also do is that if someone tries to like fight you like this, they'll get stunned. You can also technically put it like on the doorway, which guarantees the stun a bit more maybe. But I don't know, I haven't tested actually, but this one will definitely get a stun if they're like fighting you like this, because the stuns do go through walls. So yeah, that's basically it for Deadlock, I think. On post plant, you can get the I do ults like this if I get like Killjoy ulted, so sometimes there'll be a Killjoy ult that goes off here. So I will fire that. And if I know that they're gonna Killjoy ult, if I like hear footsteps and stuff like that, or if a teammate's gonna call it, or if I see she's got ult, I'll ult and do this when she puts it down. Sometimes it misses because she runs away from it really fast. You can do it like a deeper line if you want to. We'll get basically all of CT. It's really, really good. Actually, I just realized that that deeper line is actually so much better. It's so much better than the other one. But the problem is that you are a bit exposed. But it does hit everything. So it's probably more reliable to do that way. Bear in mind as well that there's going to be plenty of people to shoot it though. So it might not get the most value. It really depends on if they get cocooned close. If they get cocooned at these close, if they get like a closer angle like this, then they'll probably make it around. Then the cocoon will probably get around the corner before it's shot, and then you can probably get a kill if they actually do manage. Even if they manage to shoot the cocoon, you can probably get the kill because they'll be open. So yeah, that's it for Deadlock. I hope this was like a comprehensive guide of like where I am with Deadlock. I think I over-explained a lot of things. I messed up some lineups, stuff like that. But for the most part, my playbook is there. I just need some time to make it more effective and consistent. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in my next one.